I guess.
Let's do it!
I think I'm even gonna save just most of my dialogue for things like glitches, not so much story. I don't know, like, what is actually wanted here? Because I can throw in some story, but, I mean, most of the story's missed because of how many skips there are in this game. Pretty generic story. Oh my god. And it's doubling up. Just what we wanted. Thank you, Gordon Tribbles, for that. 6 months in a row. Half year. It's impressive, dude. Thank you so much. This just rolled over last night. Perfect timing. We're actually looking to submit for RPG Limit Break today, which is what I'm going for right now. So you joined at just the right time. First we gotta destroy all these towers, which is sped up with this gunshot we got back there. Yeah, as I was saying, it's a pretty generic story. Princess gets kidnapped, you go save the princess. Yeah, I love RPG Limit Break. They're great. To me, they're the RPG of GDQs, basically. Oh, I'll absolutely shoot you a message. So what we're shooting for here is just a consistent, well played out 230. That's going to be showcasing most of the glitches, but playing it fairly safe, you know, with memory boxes, saves, stuff like that. Nothing too risky that could create a game over. It will definitely be using the S-Revive route for the end of the game. YOLO run on the marathon, yeah. That would be pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie. So here we're jumping rather than walking. And we'll be doing that throughout the game whenever oh, that's unfortunate. Whenever there's an uphill surface. If the surface is straight, or if it's downhill, then you walk because it's faster. Alright, we got a decent amount of money. Do you want to go for one more bet? Alright, 1,800, pretty good. Okay, we take out this bell. And now we go get the Sword of Lumina, which is by far the better of the two swords. It's slower but heavier hitting, and because of the level up system, we only use it so that way we can do as much damage with it as possible rather than spread our damage. Oh, I never split. Skip that one. Alright, so we want to get the attention of one of these enemies. We want to get him to step right on here and hit us. And that gives us just enough time to grab the sword. Normally, when you're playing this game casually, you'll want to use fusion to assimilate, which is basically the equivalent of blue magic from Final Fantasy, where you take your opponent's abilities and use them yourselves. In this case, it'll give you a stun, which allows you to hold one of the enemies on top of the pressure plate. But we found a way where if you do it a certain way, you can get there fast enough before they step off of it. And here we have your traditional Indiana Jones side-scroller. It's very simple. We just hold right, actually, for most of it. And we just kind of wait. I am playing this on emulator. And right now is one of the only notable times that we know of that's a distinct difference between console and emulator. In this case, there is no music right here, which is kind of awkward. But we have no idea why. It just doesn't play music. Yo, Richard, I'm actually going for seamless skip in this round. Just as a heads up. Because the event won't be till February, if I can get under 5 minutes, I'm pretty confident that by the time February rolls around, it'll be even more consistent. So I'm not really that worried. Just once? Oh man, it's changed quite a bit since then, I'll be completely honest. Alright, so here we meet our first bad guy, Rutrick, who captures the princess and then just abuses the princess. We do not condone violence. And then he drops the first boss on us. Which casually can be tricky at first, but it's not so hard anymore. So we have this charged attack, which you just saw me use. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. Fix that. Okay, we got it. Which is easily Musashi's strongest attack, which we'll be using throughout the game, which is the Sting Slash. And if the enemy is directly in front of you, it will actually hit them twice. And we gotta take up these two lives. It's a little bit on the slow side, but that's fine. We got one. Hopefully we can get two here. Oh. One more. Thank you. A little bit sloppy, but... So this boss has 3 phases. Third one coming up right now. And he likes to jump somewhere. He just... Cool. Alright. We need to do a little bit more damage. There we go. Okay. The rest of this is pretty scripted, so we have to wait a little bit longer. The game doesn't expect you to do that much damage that early on, so this entire period you cannot actually damage it. And here we go. Let's see if we can get the finishing blow. Nice. Alright. And this is the end of Chapter 1.
Hey, you forgot something! That's what you get when you're trying to mess with me!
So now we're on to Chapter 2, which is kind of like the beef of most of the glitchy parts. Okay. You get the whole introduction, and the beginning is very slow to go, so we try to skip as much of it as possible. How old is Musashi supposed to be? That's a good question. I think he's supposed to kind of be like a kid. Like, you summoned the wrong version of him. You were supposed to summon the later version, but it turns out it's just a kid. That's how I've always understood it as. So this first glitch is the riskiest glitch in the run, but it's a necessary evil in that it cuts about 40 minutes out of the game. But every time I mess it up, it costs about 2 minutes. So we may be here for about 10 minutes, we may be here for about 2 minutes. We'll just have to play it out, really, and hope for the best. So now that we're past the beginning part of the game, we end up in this village, which is where most of the game takes place. You'll notice now that we actually have a timer in the corner. And the time of day actually becomes very important for the speedrun because there's certain things you can only do during certain times of the day. So missing certain windows means that you have to wait an entire day, which can be several minutes. So right here we actually slept a little bit. We're going to save right here too. Okay. So we slept till about 1700 hours. This game uses military time. So we're in the afternoon. And we're going to be going to a nearby forest to assimilate an enemy that likes to hop. And we use that to hop, and it becomes a glitch where it allows us to jump much higher than normal, and we can use this to skip a good portion of the second chapter. Oh, missed. So we start hopping on this sword in a pogo stick-like manner that is quite comical, but quite useful. Now, the way this glitch works is that you can cancel hop at any time by pressing circle, and if you happen to do it on the very last frame where the sword lands on the ground, you will get what's called a stored jump. We're going to attempt that momentarily. It'll be after this blockout right here. Okay. We got it first try. Alright, that's really good. Okay. So we get to this treasure as a result, which is the L brace, and is a very important item towards the story. Or not towards the story, but more towards progression. It allows us to climb these orange walls, which you're seeing right now on the left side. It also triggers a sequence where we have to stop a steam leak, but we have recently discovered a new glitch that allows us to skip that, so that's going to be the next glitch coming up now. But first, we need to sleep some more. I'm actually going to save it here again. You shouldn't need to use the save file, but it's kind of just in case. So now it's 4 in the morning, another instance of needing to sleep here. We press select and then we hold R1 and it allows us to sleep in real time, a little bit faster. We need to wait till 11 o'clock for the pawn shop to open, because whenever you get an item in this game that's a legendary piece of armor, we have to appraise it first. Okay, so now we can climb those walls. And this is what triggers the Steamwood leak sequence, which, as you can see by all the puffs of smoke around. But fortunately, we can skip events by doing events that are supposed to happen later, and it will just kind of act like they already happened. Before we do that, we do want to buy some healing items. Dying in this game is not beneficial to your health whatsoever. In fact, it will save you, it will put you back at your last save point, and most of the times, that will waste a solid 15 minutes to whoever knows how long, a really long time. Alright, we have another instance of needing to pass the time. At this point in the game, there's a man called Macho who blocks Twin Cheek, which is why you saw us at the very beginning sleep for 8 hours to get to nighttime, so that way we could get Hop. And this man blocking the way is why we had to do that. Oh, that's 15 minutes, but that's fine. So So this time we're actually going to go this way. We're going to assimilate this magician, which gives us strength, which gets this guy out of the way. Unfortunately, we have to face tank that 31 damage, but it's not really a problem. You might have also noticed that there was a body level up coming in the corner of the screen. This game has a lot of RPG elements, and one of it is leveling up. Body is just your overall strength stat. You also have a stat for each of your sword, lumina, and fusion. And you have a mind level, which impacts how much damage you take from enemies. And that is leveled up simply by walking, actually. We have our first Bincho field, which is kind of like a collectible, except you're collecting people from the village. They've all been trapped inside these little Bincho fields. Hi, Mom! Shout out to my mom. You only save a handful of people in this run, because only a certain number of people are necessary. So here comes the big glitch in the run, mainly because it is brand new and not very well documented, or done for that matter, so this may take me a little bit of time. Oh, too early. Ah, too long. In the event that I cannot clean this up by February, I will be cutting this glitch out of the run. But I would really like to showcase this, as it's very flashy. Oh, nope. And brand new, up and coming. It saves 4.5 minutes. We got it. Woo! Oh man. 1844? I'm pretty sure that's world record pace technically, since nobody's done that. That felt really good. So we have our first scroll here. We have to collect 5 in the game. The whole idea is that we collect all 5 scrolls, and then we have to defeat 5 press guardians. And that should awaken the power or something, and worry about it later. But the first one we get is the Earth Scroll. And then we find out that our sword talks to us for no reason. This game's pretty weird, actually, because he never actually talks to you ever again. It's just a way to describe plot, I guess. Yeah, 1844. I feel like Steam would skip, or Steam would in general, finishes around 21 minutes. So that was pretty good. What was that, 4th try or something? Yeah, honestly, I spent so much time just jumping to that wall that it really did pay off at the end of the day. It was a solid, I'd say it maybe took like 8 hours of just jumping to a wall to finally figure that one out. 1705? Alright. So it's not that good, but I'm happy with it. Did you get a chance to see that, Zach? Oof. Okay, now Church Escape. This is the final glitch of the chapter, and probably about the same difficulty as Steamwood Skip. It's hard to really say at this point since we don't know a lot about Steamwood Skip, but it's definitely one of the more challenging skips coming up. Now here we talk to John, who we never met, because we kind of do this out of sequence. Excuse me. Which is why it's kind of hard to describe the story of this game as you speedrun it. That and all the dialogue is skipped very quickly. So this one utilizes the hop skip again, along with a couple of other things. Besides being able to cancel the hop skip normally, you can actually pause and change scrolls and it'll have the same effect as pressing circle, which makes it a whole lot easier because now we can actually just frame buffer the cancel, so it is much easier than the L-brace skip, where you kind of just have to do it on the fly. Damn, that's actually pretty impressive. I'm not going to be describing this right now, just because I need to focus. Good. Okay, so by doing this, this glitch has a lot of implications. You are not supposed to, at any point in the game, be allowed to get onto the church roof, except for this one part in Chapter 3, where the priest actually lets you get on his back. Oh no. Did I forget to sleep? Alright, so we actually have to do this fight. I screwed up a little bit. Unfortunately. What time is it? Oh, it's 5:45. Okay, that's not that bad. Unless I die, of course. Then it's bad. Alright, 1 more hour. Yes, so while you're on the roof, you're supposed to sleep till 7 o'clock, because, again, more time-based events. This battle is supposed to start at 2 o'clock, and you're supposed to wait 5 hours till it's daytime, because these guys do not like light. Alright, so you'll hear the music change, and we are now in Chapter 3. We have skipped the first Crest Guardian. We can no longer activate the Earth Crest, because there is no way to fight what is called Sculpion. And we get a rope to the well. Don't ask why, it doesn't make sense right now. But at this point, we are supposed to have double jump. And that is the only way to get out of the church, or so we thought. May take a couple tries. Wait, one more frame. And that's Church Escape. It's a little bit more complicated than it might have looked. But we got it. I would explain it in a little bit more detail. Hang on, 1600, so that puts us to 1600. One more. Wait, can I do math? Yeah, okay. So now we're at midnight. And in this chapter, Vambies, which is vampire zombies, come out of the restaurant at midnight. And there's the first one. So what we have to do is wait for the Vambies to come out, and we go into the restaurant, which is not closed, but the Vambies let us in. And now we have what I consider to be the most difficult part of the run, platforming-wise. Okay, let's see if we get Soda Pop Jump. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Skipped a little cutscene right there. By jumping over those Soda Pop bottles. Yeah, bottle skip. I prefer a Soda Pop skip because it just makes me think of soda popping. But yeah, Chapter 3 and 6 are the most hard and the most fun, undoubtedly. 3 for its platforming, 6 for its combat. And this is a bowling-themed level. Unfortunately, I am very much terrible at bowling. But we'll see how it goes today. Today seems to be like a good day for me. Got a mind level up. That's pretty nice. Let's see if we can dodge any of these arrows. Doesn't look like we're getting lucky today. That's fine. Oh yeah, gamer, good. Steam with skipping. Thanks for the good lucks, man. See if we can get a strike here. Oh, really? Unfortunate. Oh, this might miss. Oh. Hardly. This is on emulator still. I got a ways to go. Hi, Dad. No, I'm not. Hey, Zach, if it makes you feel any better, it looks like it's just me right now. Me and VHGS. I was trying to help Barris because he was having some questions, but he's still having issues with it. I mean, I wouldn't even consider myself to have it consistently yet. Barris he's done it like twice, I think. Or he said once off of stream, and that's it. We get some sleep here so that way we can recover some HP. Another aspect that I did not mention is time goes by, your HP goes up by 4, but your BP goes down by 4. Just gotta jump at a wall for 8 hours. That's pretty much what it takes. I mean, it's probably gonna be a little bit easier for most learning it now, just because I was just taking shots in the dark and now I kind of know how it works. Also, I am still terrible at bowling. Maybe? It's probably gonna... Yeah, that'll hit. Best bowler. I am so bad at bowling in this game. Also, you've probably noticed that we saved 2 Binchos in this room, or in this dungeon. That is for a later quest going on when we have to go to a frosty area. Okay, so this is the end of the first dungeon. second. Which one am I going to go for? I'm going to go for what I consider to be... I'm going to go for the ghost room, actually, because I have HP to heal still. Now, this room is the only one with glitches in it. It has some stored jumps in it, one of which is a very challenging stored jump because it is the absolute maximum you can jump, so it has to be a completely straight line. This one is easy. The very next one, which we have nicknamed Bat Jump, it might not make sense because there's no bats involved, but it used to involve bats, so we just never changed the name. Yeah, let's hope for the best. Oh. Okay, we got a second try, that's not bad. And that skips a couple puzzles, which takes a lot of time. And we can sleep a few more hours here. Now we have some darkness rooms. Fortunately, we don't care. We just know the path. This is also the area where we generally use our 4 gels, or at least we're supposed to use 3 of them. We want to save one for later. But so far we have used none of them, so that is really good news. Come on. There we go. And for the last room, yep, okay. Alright, so next is undoubtedly the most difficult dungeon in this area. It will be where we end up using our gels most likely. But it's also probably the most fun room, not gonna lie. And the music's fantastic, too. Oh, come on. What am I doing here? Nope, I don't want to chance that one. Unfortunately, those spikes do not do a lot of damage. Falling in the pit does, though. We're going to want to avoid that at all costs. Okay. See if we can avoid the bat troll here. Looks like they're being nice. Alright, good. Nice. That could be an actually way more difficult room than it looks, just because bats will hit you often right before you're about to jump, and it will cause your jump to just completely miss. Now this one's a little bit more challenging though. Let's see if we get this one. Oh, over jumps. Okay, we got it. Now for the last jump. Nice. Oof. That's fine. Thanks, Logan. I appreciate that. Oh! Look away. We're off to a great start so far. Alright. So we are in a really good spot, having used no gels, and we are on the last dungeon. I'm hoping maybe we could just do this gel list. That would be fantastic. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm hoping for maybe one gel here. That'd be great. Okay, so this is another like similar darkness room. Hey Webcraft, so at this point I think this could be PB, but that is not necessarily the goal here. The goal, wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got it. The goal here is to submit an entertaining run to RPGLimitBreak that might get approved for February. So, because it's a marathon setting, my estimate is just a 230, nothing impressive, just enough to play it safe, and I will be playing it safe for this run. But because I got Steam Mode Skip, this very easily could PB. And also because I kind of run my runs pretty safe anyways. Sort of. I think so. It's still not consistent, but it's definitely better. So we're hitting up the last half of this one. Jump. 2, jump. 1, 2, jump. And one more room. We might actually do this jealous. Wow. Okay, that was jealous. Wow. I don't think I've ever done this jealous actually. So as a result of completing all 4 of these dungeons, we get the L belt, which allows us to double jump. Not only do we get to double jump, but we get to break the game even harder. So if you double jump, and as you start the double jump, you change scrolls, it will allow you to perform another double jump, and so on and so forth until, well, you can go as far as you want. It won't give you height, but it allows you to carry distance better. We got a queue coming up right here. So now we can leave the dungeon because we got what we wanted. I have to avoid these soda pop bottles. Oh, that's fine. It's just 5 seconds. And now it's 2 in the morning, so we need to sleep until 11 again, so that way we can appraise the belt. Man, my hands are freezing. Ruined reset? What's ruined? Because I have to sleep? Oh, soda pop skip, I know. Rip those 5 seconds. Okay. So now that we have double jump, we are able to... Oh, not used to there being that many shells. So the restaurant manager freaks out. He tells us that the water is broken, and now we gotta go fix it. So that's exactly what we do, because we already got the rope from earlier, after Church Escape. So we come over here. Normally, this is the part where we would have gone to the bell tower and fought off those Vambies, but we've already done that, so we have the rope, we can skip right over that. Now here, we perform our first double jump glitch. And this is, not to sequence break, but to get an item early, which lets us charge our blade faster, which is very useful for the next boss fight. That was unfortunate, but fine. We get some ominous music to tell us that the next scroll is coming. In fact, this happens every time you find the scroll. So the next one we get is water, which is very helpful because it allows us to walk on water, because Musashi for some reason can't swim. Kids these days, am I right? I mean, he's like 12. I know. I wonder how old he actually is. His voice hasn't changed. He's voiced by a female, so he's probably about 12. So now that we've had the water scroll, we can go back up, and we can go back into the restaurant, and we can fight the second boss, which is technically the third boss, since we skipped Sculpture. But first we want to go appraise that vest. His age is not available. I'm not actively watching because I have schoolwork to do, but good luck. Thank you, Strudel. I love you too, buddy. And good luck on your schoolwork. I bet you're excited to almost be done. So now we're going to go into the inn. I'm going to save just in case, even though I really shouldn't. But I want to play as safely as I possibly can here. And then we're going to sleep with what money we have left. In fact, we have just the right amount of money to get us to midnight again. So we can get back into the restaurant. Am I going to make it? Yep. And at this point, you might have noticed that there was a bell inside of the well, and we kind of just ignored it. And the reason why is by getting the bell, we get a statue, which allows us to complete this final boss right here, which goes right in the center of the door. But instead of worrying about that, we're going to jump over the door. Like this. So we skip that quest completely. Now we have the final dungeon of the chapter, which leads to the boss. get some nice skips in there. Take the short way. And we're about to have another one of those glitchy triple jumps. To skip. Ooh, that was unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Skip a good portion of. And my jumps started getting rough. Oh, and here's where it really. Okay. Unfortunate, but we're fine. Thanks to having a million gels. This is the triple jump. It's a little tough. Okay, we got it. Now for this boss fight, our HP doesn't actually matter all that much. Simply because we'll be using the water shield for most of it, which absorbs all damage. So that was a little rough, but with the amount of gels we had, we're pretty okay. We're going to jump over this door, similar to the other door. Normally you'd have to blow out all the candles surrounding the room, but this is just much faster. And here we have the Relic Keeper, which naturally, since we got the water crest, or the water scroll, it's fire-based. So we gotta put him on. This is a good time to mention how amazing all the boss fights are in this game. They're all incredibly unique in their own way, involving the crest, and it's honestly my favorite part of this game. Hey, thanks, Protractor. I appreciate that good luck. Especially right around the Relic Keeper. So basically we have to hit his core 3 times by doing enough damage with the water scroll. And each phase is a little bit different. This one has some AI manipulation in the second phase, so we're going to give it a try. But I'm not sure if it'll actually work. Okay, that was good. Oh, that was interesting. Overall, not too bad of his though. Got some good hits there. And phase 2 is over. And time for the last phase. Got a kind of rough angle there. But we're okay. Good damage done. Should be almost dead. There it is. Come on. There we go. And that's the end of chapter 3, which is, besides the last chapter, the longest chapter. So the core comes out. This allows us to level up some more. And also allows us to activate the water crests. It's very important for the next chapter. Ant Queen is actually my favorite. I do love Relic Keeper, but I don't know. I just love Ant Queen. Something about it. It just feels like a classic battle to me. Maybe just because it's the least reliant on scrolls, it's really only used at the end of it. So at this point, we're going to perform our next glitch, which is called Slug Skip. Ugh. Man, what did I eat? Oh, I went the wrong way. But that's okay, because this way works too. We use jump here, or hop here for its intended purpose. Go over here. Bring out the water scroll. The water scroll was the original intention. It allows us to have a shortcut by crossing this river. Now we're going to use hop for its unintended purpose, which is to jump over a slug. Now this one, like Church Entry, is pretty simple, and if you screw it up, it's not a big time loss. Nailed it. Okay, good. So in previous hop glitches, you're supposed to cancel it on the frame you land, but on that one you're supposed to actually do it on the frame after, so that way you get a super high jump rather than just landing straight on the ground and having a stored jump. Yeah, that was pretty clean. I enjoyed that. So now we get our third scroll, which is the fire scroll. So as naturally, you'll probably be expecting our next boss to be ice, as it is. But first, we meet our arch nemesis, Kojiro, and we kind of have a duel for the ages, but unfortunately it's not as hard as it should be. It's very easy. And you'll see in a moment why. His AI is very manipulatable.
You are late.
His voice is also really annoying, so we're just going to skip over that. The reason why he exists, by the way, is he's from Musashi's original world, and the princess conjured him up to save him, but instead he was more interested in fighting his rival Musashi. Unfortunate. Oh, we got too close to him. We basically want to have two attacks happen. This one, and the one where he shoots out a flaming bird like that. All the other ones cannot be countered. So basically we just kind of stand in front of him like this and spin at his face. I missed off. Nice crit. Oof. Missed. This is kind of sloppy, but the fact that we don't lose HP is always good. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's the Kojiro fight.
I can't.
And now we do Slug Escape. Now this glitch is one of the less documented ones, but it's not hard. It's just nobody really knows how exactly it works. So it can take a couple minutes, or it could just be instant. But I like to think at this point I've got it pretty consistent, just by practicing it a whole bunch, which is basically we just run into this corner until the princess pushes us up. There we go. Simple as that. I mean, casually, Kojiro really isn't that easy if you don't know what he's doing, because his attacks do a lot of damage. So now we save the princess, but not really, because it's actually a fake. But you don't actually get to see that in the speedrun, because we skipped that part where you find out she's a fake. So we go to the thieves' hideout, which means we have to talk to the 3 mercenaries that we saved, which was some of the people that you saw saved in the restaurant dungeons. So we quickly talk to them. They give us instructions on how to get to this place. Unfortunately, even though we know how to get there, it doesn't trigger until you talk to them. So we still have to find out. Come on. That was rough menuing. And finally for the last... Ooh, that was good. Okay. So by doing that slug escape, we basically skipped most of this chapter, and we're already headed to the boss dungeon. Although this boss dungeon is a little bit longer than the Relic Keeper one is. So we basically go to the same area where we fought Kojiro, but we go a little bit farther this time. Grab Hop, and instead of going south, we go to the west, in this direction. And we're off to a place called Meandering Forest. You were supposed to have gone this way before when, right before we did Elbrace, but we never had to do that. So I'm just going to think for a moment, because I have to remember exactly where I'm going. It's Luru Rulu, if that makes sense to anybody. So we got Luru, now we need Rulu. So right. Now we just need Lu. So left, up, 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 up. And the rest of the way should be easy because it's just all up. If you, at any point you go in the wrong direction, you have to start all over again. So you could understand, if you didn't understand the puzzle, this could be a very frustrating spot in the game casually, where you could just have a roadblock and have no idea what you're doing. I personally actually experienced that when I was a child. So this part of the game actually has a soft lock that I'm semi-worried about, in all honesty. Especially since I didn't save, which I should have done. So I'm going to take a slightly safer route than I usually do. Normally there's 2 chances to soft lock. I'm going to make it so that there's only 1. So here we perform the infinite jump glitch. And we should be safe. Okay. So if you fall in that pit, you cannot get out because you are required to get shoes. Kind of screw that up. Okay, we got him. So, in order to complete this dungeon, we have to get the red eye, the blue eye, and the green eye. But by performing this glitch of jumping over that pit, we are actually doing it in the reverse. Oh, man, he was farther than along than usual. Hang on. There we go. We're going to do it in reverse order to avoid having to get shoes and then going back to the palace to appraise them. Too early. That's fine, it's just 10. So instead of going red, blue, green, we're going to go green, blue, red. Playing it slightly safe here with 90 HP. We assimilate that guy. We'll need him for later. We're gonna come up here. We're gonna use this to get through. Normally we do not come this way, we go back the way we came from. But I want to avoid a soft lock pretty badly. And I appreciate extra parts, so that's fine. Okay. We're going to return to this room. Now we're going to perform the infinite jump in the opposite direction. Get up here. And then we have to use that steel assimilation right here, which allows us to get through thorns to get to the other side of this dungeon. Okay, so now we're going for the blue eye. We're also going for a D-kick right here, which is a very important technique, which allows us to move much faster later on. We're going to hold on to that for quite some time. Now in this room we have to defeat like 5 mimics, and I'm not allowed to be hit, so I have to be kind of careful. Oh, that was not what I wanted. One more. Perfect. So now we have 2 of the 3 eyes. We just got to grab one more, which is arguably the easiest. So we're doing pretty good so far with this dungeon. Avoid those. Okay. So here we actually pick up one of the few items in the, or actually maybe the only item in the game that isn't a piece of legendary armor, and it is a long tube that eventually gets embraced into a straw, and we get it just because it's worth $5,000. And that allows us to buy our final selection of medicine way at the end of the game. So here we enter the red eye door, and all we have to do in this one is just kill all the enemies. Which is most efficiently done with the fire scroll. It's actually kind of nice, we get some BP here, so we can actually D-kick around. Come on. The one problem with this room, despite Fire Scroll being the fastest, is the fact that it's also one of the hardest scrolls to control. It's one BP here, that's helpful. And unfortunately, this guy's running away really far, so I'm going to bring him closer. I was a little too close to him. Oh. So now, because all those penguins gave me a lot of BP, I'm going to be kicking around, because it is much faster than walking. And I'll want to keep around maybe 60 BP, just to play safe. Okay, so now this glitch is a pretty challenging one. It's as a result of the fact that we did not get those shoes that lets us climb on slippery slopes. So we need to do what's called balcony jump. We need to jump from the top balcony across the side. Well, unfortunately, you can phase right through that sometimes. Come on. Oh, misclicks. Happens every once in a while. That's never happened before. That's happened a million times. This is actually one of the harder glitches, I'd say, to do first time. But it doesn't waste too much time if you screw it up a couple. There we go. We're gonna store a jump. I missed it. I missed that last jump, unfortunately. We're gonna have to try it again. It's close though. This is definitely one of the glitches I'll be practicing up until February, because it is definitely one of the more challenging ones. Realistically, it's all about getting the rhythm of the pausing and the double jumping. Oh no! Did I miss it? Yeah, I missed it. I might try it the old-fashioned way. Because I haven't given that a try in a while. It used to be pretty reliable. But I think I'm going to go hoverless. Okay, I think we got it this time. Yep. Took longer than expected, but that's fine. Yeah, that it's the same angle. I'm doing it without using D-kick to get the hover. And instead of just doing it in one single double jump, I'm actually just chaining the double jumps. Yeah, balcony jump actually has several different methods to it. I was having a lot of problem getting that one consistent, so I swapped to the one I'm using right now. But I might actually swap back because, I don't know, it's just inconsistent no matter what. And the other way is faster, so... So here we have the fourth boss of the game, a Frost Dragon. Definitely, casually, one of the harder bosses. It does a lot of damage, but speedrunning wise, it's actually very simple. We manipulate hitboxes, and we win. So here we're actually going to sleep a couple of hours because I'm pretty tired and it's still early. This boss, after you beat it, changes it to a very specific time, so when you end this boss fight, really doesn't matter as long as you're on the correct day. And it's only 10 o'clock, so we're pretty safe. That again. Get some more HP back, because we are going to do some damage boosting momentarily. Alright. So at this point, I'm actually going to use a gel. Just because pretty soon, it won't be necessary to have those gels at all. It's kind of where you feel like you're recording very soon. And that is already the first phase over, actually. Yeah, I love the fire sad phase. Actually, we don't even need to sleep. We're full HP. One, two, three. Oh, took some damage, but that's fine. Come on. And the third phase, we're actually going to take a slightly safer strat. Just because I have not perfected it yet, and it'd be nice to just be clean. So instead of blocking these spikes, we're gonna run. That's gonna trigger a laser beam, which is what we were actually avoiding by doing what we were doing earlier. But this is a bigger window, so we're going for it. There we go. And as simple as that, Frost Dragon's done. It's a very simple boss. Also, I am on pace for 219. What is happening? Or 218 even. And that is the end of Chapter 4. As I said, these chapters are pretty short, because most of them get skipped by glitches. I kinda got stuck on balcony jump. It took a couple tries. So back to the village we go. And now, our next glitch might not look like a glitch, but it basically bounces off of previous glitches to allow this to happen. I actually suck at the penguin room, so I'm surprised that you say that. I feel like that was actually a really clean penguin room. Okay, so, Princess Stole Profits. Hey, thanks for that follow. It didn't come up yet. I don't know who that was, but thanks for the follow. And my alerts are all kinds of screwed up, so I apologize. Oh, addressed Overwatch. Okay, that works. Thanks, man. So we appraise the big tube, we sell it, and we get a whole lot of money. And so we're going to use this as our chance to really buy out from the shop. So we're going to buy an S Revive, 3 cheeses, and W gels. There it is, there's the fall, okay. It just came up early. Alright. So this glitch relies on the fact that during chapter 3, remember when Manic asked us to drain the well? Or fix the well, rather. No, just kidding. Because we did slug skip, that's why this is possible. We skipped fixing the well, so we're going to fix the well now, and it's going to send us 2 chapters backwards in time. Oh, no reason for that. So we come over here, and this crest was supposed to already have been activated, but it's not, because we skipped it. So as a result, we're able to go back 2 chapters, which allows us to actually go forward in time. And you'll see why in a moment. After this quick cutscene from Ben and Ed, 2 characters that you should have seen a while ago, but that never happened. The best characters, indeed. Okay, so 2 chapters ago, we were supposed to go over here, and it's kind of just a dead end at that time of the game. But right here, there's supposed to be Steam where we're at, because we're supposed to fight but fix Steamwood a second time, which we never did, or never will do. And so we were able to go this far, but then we would have been stopped by the fact that we didn't fight Cross Dragon yet, but we have. So we can actually activate this. And, oh, that was a jerk. We effectively skipped Steamwood Part 2. So, yeah. Steamwoodless run. I love it. And this skips almost all of Chapter 5, except for the final boss dungeon. Which is crazy, because we're just getting the crest right now. Or not the crest, the scroll. And this gives us the Wind Crest, or Wind Scroll, which allows us to dig holes, and it also allows us to blow smoke away, or poison. We meet 2 characters we haven't seen in a while. Well, one of them we saw last chapter, but the other one we haven't seen since chapter 3. And they decide to game over you. Because why not? Except we have Lumina, so just kidding. So they just basically give us some BP. A whole lot, which is pretty nice. We're gonna go for Pretty small skip. I don't know if it's going to work. It's pretty difficult. It's called Bramble Skip. And basically, it's just triple jumping over these. We're going to try a couple times. That's unfortunate. Now, you're probably asking yourself why. No, that's not good yet. One more. No. I'm just gonna play it safe. The reason why you want to skip over that, instead of just grabbing hop, is it's really nice to keep D-kick. Because by using hop, you lose D-kick. In which case, for another like 5 minutes, we could have been D-kicking around, and it saves a whole bunch of time that way. But unfortunately, they hurt. So you only get so many tries at it. So we return back to the village, and we get some actually really epic music that we only get to hear one time in the game. And that is because the ants are attacking. Where they came from, I have no idea. Or why, like what thematically works about ants, I don't know, but I actually love it. They're giant, they're mutated, they're cool. What they have to do with wind, I have no idea. And they're attacking the gondola that's supposed to be broken. Well, we're supposed to fix it, but we never did. Okay. So we're nearing the end of the game. Or not the end of the game, but getting close to the late game stuff. And in order to secure that the end of the game is at the right time, we're actually going to use this opportunity to sleep to the right time. See if I even remember. I gotta look this up real quick. 5:30 on Thursday. So we're gonna sleep till 4:15 on Thursday. Maybe it's just a long-winded explanation as to what it has to do with ants. I guess that's fair. I appreciate a good pun from here and then. I apologize if I'm rambling just a bit too much. I'm just trying to cover all of my bases. Explain as much of the game as I possibly can in one sitting. And explain to all why I love this game as much as I do. It's a combination of so many different things. Not just the game, but the speedrun itself. It's the perfect balance, in my opinion, of RPG management, action-adventure platforming, and complicated glitches that just ties it all together in such a fun little package. And on top of that, it's incredibly challenging as you get to the late game because your enemies get stronger, but you don't. So by the point you get to late game, you still have 150 HP, or most do. I won't because I'm doing a marathon and I want to play it safe. But most things will one or two shot you at the end of the game. Which is why we buy so many healing items. So now we take the gondola that we never actually repaired, but because story sequences happens, it just automatically repaired. And we see a white furry little creature. This is the first time we see it, and it's actually going to be our first HP up for the run. Normally you would just skip over it, but because this is a marathon, I find it a very useful time to pick one up. We get it very cleanly, actually. Those little buggers can run really fast, and if they run away from you, it can take several minutes just to get them if you're unsuccessful. And here is where we start the Ant Queen dungeon. This is a fairly straightforward dungeon. It's very simple. No real big glitches in it that I can think of. Just a few triple jumps at the beginning, and that's really it. And that's really it as far as the glitches go. Come way up here. Most of the difficulty from this dungeon comes casually, in that you kind of have to find your way around it. But once you know where to go, it becomes very easy. Has a bunch of hopper type gameplay here. Has a pretty difficult mechanic right here where we're going to have to jump directly after assimilation. That can be tricky, but we'll see how we do. And we got it. That's probably the trickiest part about this dungeon. The rest is pretty smooth. Now, while the rest is pretty smooth, messing that up can be quite damaging because you do get poisoned, and poison slows you down a lot in this game. But at the end of this dungeon, we're actually going to be intentionally poisoning ourselves because poison increases your critical hit ratio by a lot. And we use that for the Ant Queen boss to make it go much quicker. Pass the first ant here. And pretty clean room. Alright. That's really it as far as platforming goes for this dungeon. All you have to do is turn on that power that we did for the fan, and now we just go to the end of the dungeon. Very straightforward. As you can see, the power has been turned on. Head over here. We get a pair of mushrooms, and this is how we actually poison ourselves. Perfect. Okay. So this is probably my favorite minigame of the game, and it's a quick speed gondola ride. So this is kind of like a side scroller, but I do have to pay attention because 4 hits and you lose. So see ya on the other side. Okay, we're about halfway through. It's a little bit more challenging as it goes. Alright. Not bad. And so this brings us to the Queen Ant fight, which normally I wouldn't memory box. This battle doesn't faze me at all, but just because of what would happen if I actually did die, I'm going to. In any actual PB attempt, I would never memory box here. But because I want to treat it as if I was actually running it at RPGLimitBreak, I'm going to. Even with PB in my sights, realistically. And here we have my favorite boss fight. It's mostly standard combat, which I actually really appreciate about it. It's not some scroll gimmick. It's just plain and fun. Also gives us a really good chance to level up our Luminous-Mite, because there are a lot of enemies that are just there for the killing. Here we have a fun little glitch where we can get closer to the time we need to for after this boss fight. That little leaf thing, by the way, is an antidote, but we're actually trying to avoid that. We don't want to grab that antidote, because that lowers our crit rate. Now, this was actually unfortunate. Because we missed a crit, we actually added an extra cycle to this battle, so this is going to be a little bit on the slower side, but there's nothing I can do about it just because it's pure RNG based on crit rate. So this should be the first core hit, which is the only time we use the wind scroll for this fight. Allows us to hit the core. Unfortunately, we're really lacking on the crits on this fight. Still no crits. It's really slow. And this is kind of a glitch. We can actually just stand between the two spots of the spikes and not get hit at all. Alright, we're finally getting a crit. That's good. Might not lose the cycle on this one. So unfortunately we grabbed an antidote, but if you hit the tail, you just get poisoned again. It just means you have to take a little bit of extra damage. Oh, wow. That was a really quick phase 2. That was good. I kind of made up for phase 1. First crit. Oh. I'm gonna use our. Oh, actually, I should have used the gel there. For some reason, I thought that was gonna be the one. Not too close, to be honest. So I got the claws again. In a world record setting, it is actually quicker to get grabbed by these and mash your controller, but because I'm running on a PS4 controller, I have to worry about unplugging my controller, which would completely end the run. So I just avoid it completely. Yeah, I think I'm going to be losing time here. This should be the last hit, though. It's not. That's unfortunate. Thank you. I'm gonna say that had better be the last hit. Okay, so we're probably losing about a minute here. But that's not the end of the world. A little bit less. That's fine. And we are on to the last chapter. This is most definitely the most fun chapter in the game. It's 3 in the morning, which is perfect timing. Our target zone is between 7 and noon to finish this glitch, which is actually funny how it came along. The only reason it was necessary is because of Church Escape. Because we skipped the second boss Sculpion, and we can no longer use the Earth Crest, we actually need a way to get to the end of the game without activating the Earth Crest. So we do this crazy mega jump just to get there, which is what's coming up right now. In the event that I am unable to complete this in the next 9 hours, it basically means that I have to sleep an entire week. So not performing on this glitch can be really rough, but it's a pretty big win though. Oh, okay. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we got it. And we use this opportunity to also, that was convenient, to catch our second and only other Miku in the game to give us 200 total HP. Not in the game, in the run. At least when I run it. Oh, right, So you actually have to wait till 7 o'clock, so that queue is a little early. But that's fine. That was so anticlimactic. Oh my god, that's too funny. So that gold split was slightly alive, but that's fine. Yeah, I got a little excited there. And this actually transports us to a point where time is no longer a factor. The clock actually disappears. Oof. That was unfortunate. That kind of screws up my cycles, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. See if we can make this one. Yep. Okay. This section, while it looks very simple, is actually really challenging because this game has poorly coded moving platforms. There are times where it will think you're on air when you're actually not, and as a result, you will only get a single jump rather than a double jump, and it can completely throw your momentum off. That was not why I screwed up, though. That was just me being stupid. But that's okay. So, a lot of the platforming in the last section of the game basically showcases all the scrolls, which is pretty neat. See if we can get this in one cycle. Oh, unfortunate. Oh, can't do it now. Close. So we get the final scroll, which is the Sky Scroll. You may have noticed that in this game, Friday is actually replaced with Sky Day, which is why we needed it to be Sky Day in order to activate that last crest. Okay. So basically all that's left is Ben and Topo, then Tower of Death, and Dark Lumina. So 5 bosses. And quite the boss rush it is. It's fantastic. We use this opportunity to use the memory box. And we're going to pull out our brand new scroll. We're going to do some hovering. While this probably looks... Oh! Okay, we're fine. It looks easy, but it's actually really hard to control. Actually, no reason to use that. I'm still full on items, so we are good. Unfortunate. Okay, we're good. Okay. One small little mistake there, but not too bad. Actually, to use a gel here. Grab another gel. Because I want to stay as healthy as possible. This does throw these cycles off a little bit, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. This section is pretty simple. falling in any of these holes is very much a problem because it takes you back to the beginning of this tube area. So we definitely want to avoid this at all costs. There we go. Now we have the Ben fight. Now this is actually one of the biggest run killers. He does a lot of damage, and the actual mechanics of killing him can be very difficult. Like right here, we have to time the bomb, where you actually have iframes on that swing. Alright, very clean first base. That was very good. We should be safe. Oh. Unfortunate. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Little rough around the edges, but pretty good. Alright. We're gonna save here. We're gonna continue. This next dungeon is fairly straightforward. Pretty hard to die, but there are some challenges to it in that it's a lot like Meandering Forest, that if you screw up, you go all the way back to the beginning. So a lot of time can be wasted here. There's only like 2 of the rooms that you can actually screw up, but one of them is near the end, so that can prove to be a problem sometimes. And this is another example of how it shows off all of the scrolls and what they can do. You kind of have to use your intellect and knowledge based on what you've done in the game to determine what you need next. There we go. That was one of the 2 that worries me. The other one worries me a little bit more than that one, though. Okay, so now we bring out the fire scroll. Good old sad pace. We'll light these up. Gonna bring out the water scroll for the next room. Now we take down all the torches. Oh. Oh. Oof, almost missed that. Okay, now this is the room that can be a little bit worrisome. It's the wind one. Very quiet, casually. Oof, man, this one was rough. But it requires you to jump while also holding the movement button. Got it. Okay, perfect. May look easy, but trust me, it is not. And finally, the last room. And we are on to Ed, who is basically just a DBZ character. And you'll see why momentarily. But he is actually... I should still heal up for him, though, just in case. He is the easiest boss of the three. Although Topo is arguably easier, but she's not really a fight. But here's why he's so simple. They did not make his hitbox long enough, so you can actually just hide in the corner. Ed does... he does have some RNG in that he teleports to one of the 4 locations, and depending on where he goes, can affect how fast he can do this fight. But overall, it is not very difficult. Like right there, because of how far away he was. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Because of how far away he was, I could not actually hit him in time. You basically want to hit him 3 times with fusion and then a swing of blue. And you are better off with him picking one of the lower locations. If he picks one of the higher locations, you will not get as much damage in, unfortunately. The first phase, though, is always guaranteed. Getting some pretty bad RNG on this fight, but jumped a little too fast. We'll have to deal up in a moment. Man, this is actually a really rough edge fight. So we should be done in a moment. Oh, it was still 1 second faster. Okay, I guess I had a pretty rough edge fight last time too. Okay, so this section is what I like to call the combat section. It is the most combat intensive section of the game, but it's fantastic. Well, it is just great. Okay, so we're going to abuse the green soldier's ability here. Unfortunately, his pathing can be a little weird sometimes. We got him. Let's be real. Oh! Wow. Okay, that's unfortunate. We just popped our revive. I didn't realize that that bomb could do that much damage. I thought we were safe. But we should be fine. Oh. So most of these fights, we use the grenade that we just assimilated from the green soldier from. It does the most damage of any assimilations, and it's just really useful. I'm not going to heal up yet, because there is a heart coming up that I can just use instead. Also, we're going to grab this item, because we are going to need all the healing we can get at the end of the game. There's that heart I was talking about, so that way we can save a gel. And we are almost out of this hedge forest. And we're good. Oof. Okay, we have 128 health. This is slightly dangerous. I think I'm safe though. There's no flamethrower. Okay, we're fine. Okay, that does 130, so we're fine. Okay. Now we're back to full. Okay, we're good. We got through this half. Now we go inside. Come on, please. There we go. This. Thank God that laser didn't hit us, because it can actually hit you on the way down. It's really annoying. Okay. Let's see. So now, this is the part where those cheese we bought earlier come into play. Because we do not have 300 BP, so we gotta use one to get our BP back. Grab these. Oh, actually, I didn't even need to. 100 is more than enough. We're gonna run straight through all these. A little bit of lag in this section, but we should be fine. See if we can get a skip here, actually. And we don't, unfortunately. That's fine. Up. So yeah, you can actually manipulate those big walkers into running into you, and you can actually go through those walls, but it's really tricky to do, and you kind of have to get there. And here we get like a mini boss, but it is actually quite literally a mini boss because he's dead. Normally it is actually way more difficult. If you have nothing assimilated, the only way you can beat it is with a fire scroll, and that only does 8 damage per tick, which it has a lot more HP than that, so that can actually be a difficult battle in casual play. And finally, for the last set of doors here, we'll have 2 here. Oh wait, actually I can use a third one. Oh wait, what? Okay. Gotta watch out for this guy right here. He can be a real jerk sometimes like that. Oof, that was close. He literally hits you as you're coming in, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You just have to hope for good RNG that he's not going to hit you. So here comes Dance Dance Revolution, the boss. Which is why it's kind of the easiest boss, but I don't really consider it a boss. She's pretty cute though, I'll give her that. And you can be slightly behind her, it doesn't have to be exact. So you don't actually have to know the pattern, you can actually just watch and do it behind her. But because I have the pattern in front of me, it's not that big of a deal. And one more time. And that's the boss fight. That simple.
I'm not surprised you're so good.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, that's actually kind of unfortunate because that puts me down to 15 BP, which means I think I'm slower. I think that actually makes my character slow. Yep. That's fine. It's only for a few moments. We get 2 more sea drinks here, just in case. And we are going to save one last time. Alright, so at this point, I am 10 minutes behind 2:30:10.
Hey!
This is PBable, but it's not a guarantee. This actually has to be a pretty decent ending to PB.
Capricola, you loser! Where are you taking her?
Although I'm pretty sure on my last run, I had an insane Tower of Death. If I remember correctly. My Dark Lumina 2 was okay, and my Dark Lumina 3 was actually pretty bad. So, I'm not saying that this will PB, but there's a chance. So this is another one of those really unique boss fights that is dedicated to using the scroll. You are forced to have the scroll on the entire fight. And also, it is very RNG dependent. The eyes open, and you have to hit them. There's a total of 20 eyes. So, oh, there it is. And where they are is completely random, so you just have to learn the pattern of the best way to search for them. Hope for the best. Oh, I saw it. Unfortunate. This is going to be the worst possible cycle. This is going to be the last possible one. But that's fine. Maybe we'll get lucky on the next one. Yep, there it is. Nice. That was pretty good. So now we get laser beams of death. Oh! Oh man! 2, 0, 3, 4. Oh! We do want to bring one right here. 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Good fight so far. Oh my god! Oh, we love that. That is perfect. Okay, so this is just kind of an attack that we have to wait out. Fortunately, you can actually just stand in this corner right here. You'll be perfectly safe to it. Okay. So just 2 more hits should do it. Okay, one last one. Now for the laser beams of death. Yo, let's go. Oh, that is so lucky. If there was something we needed to help us out to PB, it was that. Rip world record, but that's okay. So now we get some more backstory. Unfortunately, you don't get to read it, so I'm going to give you the TLDR. In some form of M. Night Shyamalan twist, a bunch of characters you never actually saw are going to backstab each other. Rutrick is going to shoot John in the back because what's his name? Führer Flatsky killed his parents. He was actually royalty, even though he was in the stocks, in the middle of the village, yada yada yada. They're all going to die, whatever. I think that about covers it. Oh, but the real M. Night Shyamalan twist is you thought you were getting all 5 of these scrolls to save the princess, but in reality you were actually doing it to unseal the Wizard of Darkness. So, that is correct. You only saw Rutrick at the very beginning, and that is it. Although, to be fair, if we didn't do Steamwood Skip, you only see him twice in the game, actually, besides the ending. In fact, for the most part, you kind of think he's dead after Steamwood Skip. So, in typical Squaresoft fashion, you kind of have an ending that doesn't make a whole lot of sense and is just a mishmash of coincidences, but it's a good time. You were the bad guy the whole time. That's actually accurate. You were the bad guy the whole time. Can I have some Bible thumps in the chat right now, though? Because Führer Flatsky may have just died, but he's not the only one who's about to go down. And Bible thump. Can we get some pogs in the chat? Please, bring on the pogs. Richard, can you actually do me a favor? Can you check what my exact PB is? Because I honestly forget. I know it's a 2:19, but I forget how many seconds. And of course, the princess gets kidnapped again. Doesn't really make sense that she keeps getting kidnapped because she's actually a tomboy, so you'd think that she'd be able to protect herself once in a while. But she is very durable because she just goes flying into the air and just walks somewhere. And in typical JRPG fashion, we have a transformation. Transformation number 1. In my opinion, he actually gets weaker through this transition. He goes from buff man to lizard man. He's got thighs for days though. I'll give him that. God damn it, Richard. So, basically, Dark Lumina fuses with Kojiro. So you're basically fighting Kojiro because he wants to duel you still. But fortunately, because it's Kojiro, this fight is actually just as easy as the first Kojiro fight. Of course, you gotta do some platforming first, though. Some really laggy platforming. Hopefully we'll get some lucky lack of lag here, but it doesn't look like that's happening. Getting some lag. Not as bad as it could be, but we'll be fine. These platforms are horrifically made, too. They're very sticky. And we made it. So we're down to the last 2 bosses. The first one is not really that challenging, but the second one can be a little bit challenging, but it is much shorter. Oh, they're both pretty short, actually. Anyways, I'm gonna mostly be quiet for this. I want to focus as hard as I can and see if we can get that PB. That's pretty clean. Alright. Got about 2 minutes. See how we do. Oh, that was too early. Too late. Oh man. Alright, so this is actually a pretty rough fight right now, but we probably lost PB, but that's fine. I like how I did a little jump there. Did we get the triple? Oh, not now. Maybe we can. Oh, still a sub 220. Wow, that was actually really close. How close was that to PB? I don't actually know what my PB is right now. I feel like it's a 2:19:40 or something. I feel like I missed it by, like, less than 30 seconds. Oh, okay, so it was about 30 seconds. Okay, so I wasn't even really that close. I probably would have only gotten it if I did it perfectly. Welcome back, Stroud. Whew. Man. That was an intense one. I'll give it that. I'm a little sad that I can't submit it, because that would have been the first submitted run to contain Steamwood Skip. But there's still going to be a VOD of it, since I'm going to submit it to RPGLimitBreak. We're going to hope that it gets accepted. And hopefully we'll be running this game in February on a very big platform. That would be actually really amazing if this got in. And I can't thank all of your support enough. Every single one of you guys. Oh.
Mom! Dad! It's all your fault! It's all because you went on vacation.
I'm not going to shout out your Twitter.
Alone.
There, my child. You're correct. It is all my fault. I'm awfully sorry. But you didn't have to destroy the castle, dear.
From now on, we will tell you before we take a vacation.
As long as you're sorry. Huh? No, that's not what I mean.
Don't get so upset, my child.
By the way, who is that little person over there?
Alright, well, thank you all for coming.
Saved my life.
So much, actually. This is the most viewers I've ever had. So
You don't mean that something happened while
actually
we were away?
amazing, and I really appreciate that, guys. I'm gonna send you over to a buddy of mine,
Right, Ripson?
because I really want to go watch his stream real quick.
Yes,
Oh, don't bring that up.
other than the princess's party, it doth be very peaceful every day.
Did you just... Yes, he did. That's actually my favorite line in the game.
Princess, I'm gonna go
Besides
return
this one.
back in a flash.
I can't end the stream
Musashi.
without not
Be
seeing this.
careful.
This is the most important line in the
That's
game.
Lumina, the sword of luminescence.
Oh, gracious me! And the name Musashi. You cannot be.
I'm
The
the legendary
legendary
brave
fencer
fencer Musashi.
Musashi.
How's it going, old man? Cringe away, I don't even care. Thank you so much for coming.